What's up, everyone? Welcome back to First Impressions, where I give you my first impressions on recently released theatrical films. It is 2019, and the new movie season has officially begun. My friend and I just got out of seeing Glass. We're going to give you our non-spoiler reviews, or do our best not to spoil anything for this movie, anything, Definitely. No plots, no nothing. We're going to give you our brief thoughts on this thing, and then, yeah, let me know yours when it's over. Glass, the concluding chapter in the Unbreakable Trilogy. M. Night Shyamalan returns to write and direct. Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, and Samuel L. Jackson, the three mains are in this film, and, well, let's talk about it. Okay, so my first thoughts on Glass is the acting in this movie overall is great. Bruce Willis returns as David Dunn. He puts in a good performance. The same performance we saw in Unbreakable, he brings into Glass, though he has a little bit more of he's more, what can I say, more energetic this time around.
Yeah,
we actually get to see the Overseer, as he's called, in action more, which is great.
Yeah.
The warehouse scene between the Beast and the Overseer is fantastic.
Definitely.
And the climax at the end is just an all-out brawl, and it's good stuff.
Definitely.
Speaking of the Beast, James McAvoy returns from Split, obviously, and as he did in Split, excellent performance.
Oh, definitely.
James McAvoy, how he did not even get nominated for Split?
Seriously.
Is baffling.
To me and to you as well.
Because he's fantastic in this movie.
He really is.
How this man can go from one personality to another is like water.
In a split second.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
It's like water.
It really is.
It's like water. It's literally like water through your hand as to how
it's so
seamless and crisp and clear he can go from one to another, and you never lose track.
That transition is so liquid smooth.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful. McAvoy, one of my favorite actors working today, bar none, is McAvoy. I love McAvoy.
I agree.
He is fantastic in this movie. I love the scenes with him in Glass. I really enjoyed the scene where all three of them are talking to Ellie Staple. I thought that was really well handled.
That was.
I even like the individual scenes where he's talking to orderlies too, and
Definitely.
how he can go flip flop from one personality to another, and it's just great. It's
Definitely.
good. It's really, really great.
Amazing.
I mentioned Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson returns as Mr. Glass, and he's fantastic.
Definitely.
He is great.
He really
Samuel L. Jackson in this movie brings that menacing charisma from Unbreakable, and he brings it to this movie, and you can just see why he's called the mastermind. He's always really 5 steps ahead of everyone.
He really is.
He is M. Night Shyamalan's Lex Luthor. If you want to do Lex Luthor right, just look at Mr. Glass. That is Lex Luthor on screen done excellently.
Definitely.
Picture perfect. Always 1 step ahead of it. Always 5 steps ahead of everyone. Has an end game. No matter even if people think he has no end game, he has the end game.
He does.
Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story. She plays Dr. Ellie Staple, who's like the psychiatrist trying to convince Kevin, David, and Elijah that they're not superpowered beings. They're delusions of grandeur. And I like how she tries to bring real-world science to explain their condition and explain everything.
Right.
In my opinion, there are points where that kind of got insulting to the intelligence.
Yeah.
Especially when they tried to explain the ending of Split. I was like, oh, you're reaching now. You're reaching. You're really reaching. Now you're just pulling excuses out of your ass. I had an issue with that.
Right.
Because now you're trying in a sense, you're going out of your way to ground it a little too much.
Yeah.
And having more of that heightenedness to it, like in Batman Begins, would have been much better if you didn't have to overly explain everything.
True.
Yeah. And to me, it kind of demystifies the powers of the Beast a little bit. But they did rectify themselves at the end of the movie, which is
Definitely.
I forgive it, and I still don't like it at the same time.
Of course.
Anya Taylor-Joy, who played Casey Cook from Split, she makes a return as well.
I love the return.
I love
Amazing.
I love how this movie had Casey develop Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes.
For Kevin Wendell Crumb. They both share a pain. They were both abused as children, and they had a kinship, a friendship, and it was a natural friendship. You can tell that, Kevin and Casey had not romantic feelings for each other, but a kinship with one another.
Yep.
Like they saw
each other.
They saw each other through each other's eyes. Is what I'm trying to say.
And they can understand each other.
That's seeing each other through each other's eyes.
Right.
I thought that stuff was great. I would have loved to have seen more of it. More of it. I didn't get enough. That's one of my main gripes. Is that I didn't get enough of that. I wanted to see more because I was liking what they were doing.
Yeah.
This movie does not have a whole lot of action in it. The beginning and the warehouse is great. The climax at the end is great. That middle part in the institution kind of drags a little bit. It kind of goes on a little too long. There's not a lot of action in that long stretch of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where you can get just really bogged down by dialogue, and you're like, today, Junior. Get to the point already.
Pretty much.
So yeah, that stuff can get a little tedious to get through, especially when there's just it's long stretches where there's just people talking, not enough is going on. You get some action. You'll get some action in there pep throughout into it, but it really does build up to a satisfying bite at the end.
Definitely.
And this movie has a double twist that you're either gonna like it a lot, or you're gonna hate it a lot. Right now, I'm indifferent to it. I think after multiple viewings, I might grow to appreciate it, but right now, I'm indifferent. I don't hate it, but at the same time, I don't particularly like it.
Right.
But yeah, after multiple viewings, maybe I'll start to get a more concrete feel on how the movie wraps up the entire trilogy.
Yeah, maybe.
I do like how they're able to incorporate Split into the Unbreakable universe. It kind of takes a popular fan theory and pretty much confirms it, which was, a good touch and was expected. And I'm not going to give it away. If you're a fan of the series, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Right.
Let's see, what else can I talk? What else is there to mention? I think
I think you covered it.
Yeah.
I think you covered it all.
Yeah, like the supporting cast is great.
Glass's mom.
Yeah, Mrs. Price. Charlene Woodward, who played Miss Glass in the Breakable, she makes a return. That was good seeing her. Spencer Treat Clark, who played Joseph Dunn, he makes a return. I like how they make him his father's Alfred in a way.
Yeah.
If you notice it, he's like his Alfred. That's pretty cool.
I can see that.
Like a father-son team.
Definitely.
I thought that was really cool, and I actually like how they handled all that.
Definitely.
This movie, of course, is very self-referential. It does not hide the fact that it's a comic book inspired movie.
No.
Which if you see Unbreakable, you would know that, but
definitely.
Almost every sentence this is not a comic book. It's not a comic book. It's just like in the comic books. In the comic books, this is what they call the villains teaming up. The comic books.
Yeah.
And
then they said your favorite line in the movie.
What was that?
This sounds like when the bad guys team up.
Oh yeah.
That was your favorite line.
Sounds like when the bad guys are teaming up.
That was his favorite line in the trailer. He wanted to. He just wanted. He loved that line so much.
It's just it's a cool line. It's a self-referential line, but the way Samuel L. Jackson delivers it is just so cool.
It really is.
And that entire scene when that happens is worth that payoff when he says it.
Definitely.
This movie does have a lot of good suspense to it.
Of course.
It got good suspense. The pacing can be hit or miss. There are times where the pacing's good, and then, like I said, once they get to the institution, that's where the pacing just really goes at a snail's pace.
Right.
It can get boring at times. I'm not gonna lie. There were times where I was like, "Can we move it along? Can we get to something over here?"
Yeah.
I don't mind having this, but I would like to have seen a little bit more action.
Right.
Right now, you just talk.
Pretty much.
And you're over-explaining everything, and when you start to over-explain your movie, that means that you don't have a lot of faith in your audience.
True.
So yeah, M. Night Shyamalan as a writer. Not a big fan of his writing. He's not horrible, but he does have a tendency to overwrite. The direction of this movie, it's Shyamalan direction. You either like what he does or you hate what he does. I thought it was fine. Cinematography looks really good. This is a well-shot picture. It's a good-looking movie. It looks great. Everything in this movie is done practically, which is fantastic.
Of course. That's very well done.
And there's some CGI, but you can barely notice it.
You really can't.
The CGI you see is mostly on the Beast when his veins start to pop out of his body.
Yep.
Most of this movie is 100% is like 90% practical.
Right.
And it looks fantastic.
It really does.
The use of color schemes, great. You know, Glass is purple, David's green, the Beast is yellow. That was good stuff. I like seeing that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say on Glass.
Yep.
You want to give your thoughts, and then we'll wrap this up.
You pretty much hit the nail right on the head with it. I love the return of the main cast, of course. Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, Beast, and Glass was amazing to see. The supporting characters were amazing as well. Joseph teaming up with his dad, awesome. Let's see, Casey and the Beast's relationship, friendship, I should say, that being developed, really well done. Elijah Glass, you see why he is the mastermind that he is. Wow, this was just, to me, this was just really, really well done. Final grade on this movie.
Yep, what's your final grade?
Final grade, I would say a very, very solid 8 out of 10.
All right.
What would you give it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it a solid 8. This movie is an 8. It still hasn't. It still need more decompression. It's the double twist and at the end that's really got me stumped.
Yep.
Because whether or not I like it or I hate it will affect that grade. And if I hate it, it will drop this movie down to a 7.
Right.
But if I keep it indifferent, it's going to stay at as an 8.
Right.
And after a few more viewings, I'll have it more concrete. Yeah.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm going to give this thing an 8.
Yep.
Yeah. 8.
Same here. 8 from me as well.
Okay, well, those were our non-spoiler thoughts on Glass. Let me know yours in the comment sections below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I would like to know. Also, let me know, do you like Unbreakable or do you like Split? Let me know also down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.
Peace, guys.